Welcome. MAGA News Network special report. It's a special report and there's a lot of stuff going on that you don't want to miss. And that's why I assume you're here on this fine evening. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers on our satellite stations. Through a illicit syndication deal, we come to you behind the wire, if you will. Your wire, not mine. And I'm happy to be broadcasting directly at you in the retard bin. Hope you're doing fine. Well, here at MAGA News Network, which I'll give you a little hint, is me, and only me. Here at MAGA News Network, we bring you not only news in a timely fashion, analysis, assorted commentary, but tonight we bring you the first ever MAGA News Network Intel Drop and Comedy Supplement. We start our show with the very special MAGA News Network Intel Drop introductory theme. Something real special that I myself cooked up. I decided to go back to the basics and see what all these kids were doing with Adobe After Effects. And after watching a few how-tos on YouTube, I created something specially for you. And I hope, I hope that you find it as enjoyable as I found making it. This one is for you. Got it, asshole. One more time, Dilley Pickle. One more time, you slob. See, I can cook up some stuff in my spare time. That's everything that I feel about the enemy camp right now. All of the crusted losers, the failures, the bedwetters, the pillow biters, people like Meggie and Karen and Zero and Amy. How does it feel, guys? You're reduced to making scopes that chase after me. You're chasing after me. How pathetic is that? You're chasing after a middle-aged guy who's lost interest in almost everything, yet somehow You're playing second fiddle. You're no longer in charge of the narrative. Probably because, not in the case of Amy, but in the case of the others, you have a substandard education. You're in need of a GED course. Amy has some education. She's just a broken loser. Speaking of broken losers, I bring you to my second presentation of the evening. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy bringing this to you.
Responsibility only to oneself. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of pleasure. The new Declaration of Independence for the teenager around the world. Then when it starts to fade, the old world returns to what it was. Come over to a similar apartment in the village. Smoke a joint, burn a little grass. Pot party, roach party, mainliner, skin popping, shoot some crystal. The language of the narcotic and marijuana user. The language of a large and ever-increasing number of teenagers. Starting in high school on benzodrine and dexedrine pep pills, it is not long before many soon graduate to marijuana, the teething biscuits to a whole generation of adolescent psyche. And if marijuana is the appetizer, the advent of the space-age technology has provided the main course. Lysergic acid diethylamide. LSD, the crazy acid. To use it is to take a trip in the world of mystique, religion, and self-knowledge. For others, it is a trip to the emergency ward of the nearest psychiatric hospital. For some, it accentuates the beat. For some, it quickens sexual desire. For some, it is the release of sexual inhibitions. But whatever it is, teenagers are going for it. A drug that can be made in the kitchen sink is hard to stop. And may be the forerunner of a new drug society out of some science fiction writer's imagination. Will drugs pave the road to destruction for the now generation?
Hey man, what's happening?
I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I go into the kitchen and look up on the shelf. Some peanut butter and a jar of jelly. Make a sandwich and put it in my belly. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. Hey man, I'm starving.
You're strutting casually down the street when a man comes up to you looking beat with telltale traces of hippie on his chin. You say howdy and he says hi, got anything that'll make me fly? And if you do, I surely wish you'd let me in on what you're dealing, brother. In your mind you start to ponder what to turn this fella on to, and then you get a look into his eyes. You find his beard is only makeup and his line is purely fake up. Then and only then you realize that he's your friendly neighborhood narco agent, friendly neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local FBI. Your friendly neighborhood narco daddy, all-American thinking fetty, there to trip you up while you are high. You're sitting in the coffee house gloom when the waiter comes up to you with a broom, and he has to sweep the floor around your chair. When you ask him why, he says, routine, we like to keep our coffee clean, and he proceeds to tidy up with care. You light yourself a cigarette, find out soon as you got it lit that 40 newfound friends are by your side. And someone hands you a note that's pencil telling you your flight's been canceled. Just the same, you're going for a ride with your friend, the neighborhood narco agent friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local FBI. Your friend, the neighborhood narco daddy, all-American thinking Fetty, there to trip you up while you are high. Now you duck into an alleyway thinking, hey, maybe I can cop a J and get back before the boss finds out I'm gone. Remembering the golden rule, you look both ways, make sure it's cool, and when there ain't a soul for miles around, you clutch your baggie full of weed and careful not to spill a seed, you roll a joint as big as Baltimore. And as you take that first big drag in, a helicopter drops a paddy wagon, and guess who's standing smiling by the door? It's your friend, the neighborhood narco agent friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local CIA. Your friendly neighborhood college dropout, undercover cop or cop out, keeping law and order bright and gay. Yes, you find out that the freak you trusted is a fink that got you busted, and 20 years is a long time to stay on the ground.
Hey man, what's happening?
I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I go into the kitchen and look up on the shelf. Some peanut butter and a jar of jelly, make a sandwich and put it in my belly. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. Hey man, I'm starving. Somebody give me something to eat. Give me some popcorn, smoked peanuts, I don't care. A Roscoe piece of molten bread. I'm starving. Somebody give me something to eat. Some burritos or tostadas, it don't matter. How much I eat, don't care if I get fatter. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. Hey man, I'm in anything. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I go into the kitchen, I can eat everything on the shelf. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. No, 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 I can't help myself. I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself.
Okay, we're back. So, we can see progress is being made, one video at a time. We've seen our detractors desperate for attention, doing scope after scope after scope, even pulling out old videos of mine and looping them, trying to make some sad case that Brendan Dilley is a serious candidate, and B, has any chance whatsoever of being a victor in Arizona 8. They are simply raising money off some gullible, some stupid, and some evil people, none of whom actually live in Arizona. So I love it. I watch it, and I know I'm living rent-free in their heads, their middle school level of education heads. I love it. They try to express themselves in a semi-complex way. They're incapable because they're not actually intelligent. But they plot along with their 4 or 5 rescopes. I'm loving every fucking second of it. And Obi was here today. We went to the gun store, took care of the AK-47 issue. That's taken care of now. Then we had a nice lunch. Then we hung out. We had a little discussion. Obi left. And I was watching various things. I did, obviously, pillow talk with the Colonel. And while talking with the Colonel on my new third device, I see frantic messaging to me that Ginger has been apprehended. This was very distressing to me. So just so we're all on the same page, we're going to have a little refresher of what's been going on in the last 48 hours. And so first up, we have Ginger explaining in perfect detail why she's actually now in fear for her life. This was from yesterday. Let's take a look.
You guys, I just don't know what to say. Something horrible happened today. And rather than prolong the misery, I need to just come out with it and admit what's happened. I am going to be forced to leave everything I've ever known. Someone found out who I really am, and they posted it on Twitter. Because of this, I'm going to have to go on the run. I wouldn't call following or seeing Ginger's tweets lucky. She's a deep state plant, just like all the other mentally ill cultists. Just look at the candidates they're backing. Says everything you need to know. Now, I have to admit to you that I am the deep state. I have to leave. I have to leave my home and everything that I've ever known. This is serious, and my life could be in danger. I feel like Jason Bourne right now. I'm going to have to just pick up and move. And I'll tell you why. It's because of Brendan Dilley. If you look at his latest poll, he posted on Facebook just a few hours ago. He's going to win in Arizona, District 8. He's polling at 41%. And as you guys know, Brendan Dilley is going after the deep state. He has intelligence reports. And now I am in the crosshairs, and I'm terrified. This is going to be a very serious problem. The issue is that I'm a female, and they think that I am an easy target. What they don't know is I am much stronger than you are, and I am an attack. You have 3 glorious days until an absolutely brutal, humiliating defeat, and I will relish in every last moment of it because of the way that you and your little friends on Twitter have trashed me for months. Then, when I speak out, I'm told that I'm a bully, I'm a bad person, I'm so angry, I'm not angry. I am cracking up. I'm having the time of my life. This is the funniest thing ever. Let me show you guys the truth about Brendan Dilley. I have a little video here to play you for just a second. This is going to just kill you.
Like the intel drops. Do I know definitively I've gotten a source high in the government? No, I don't. I have no idea. Like the intel drops.
One more time.
Do I know definitively I've gotten a source high in the government? No, I don't. I have no idea.
Oh no, he doesn't have any idea. But what about the intel drops? What about those? All of these
like the intel drops.
A source.
Do I know?
What? No.
What happened? What's going on? I was as shocked as you were to see that video. I think we all were pretty shocked. I mean, could it be that the forces that have been aligned against us since last year, working diligently for peanuts ejected from the rectum of Ann Vanderhoor? Is it possible? Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. Anyway, we all watched in horror as Ginger admitted that her cover as a deep state operative had been blown by one of the Zero crew. But we wished her well. And today, MAGA Goldhat, on his scope, disclosed that he was partially responsible for the strategy to get her out of the country, safe from her enemies, and happily ensconced in a former Soviet Socialist Republic, far from the reach of the middle school educated crew. And I was very happy. I watched his scope, kick back, calm in the knowledge that Ginger had been taken care of. Didn't give it another thought. Got ready for the scope with Colonel Pillow. And much to my horror, I had to watch during Pillow Hour messages being frantically sent to me that something untoward had happened to Ginger while I was scoping. Take a gander.
I'm terrified right now. As you guys know, last night I was outed as a deep state agent by the Brendan Dilley campaign. He is currently sitting at 41% in the polls, so I am certain that he will win. As a result, I had to flee the country. MAGA Goldhat thought that the best way to get me out of the country was to put me in a truck with a false bottom. We made it out to Mexico through Mesa, Arizona. Once we were in Mexico, Leah arranged for a yacht to take me from there to Greece. From Greece, I was then transported to Prague. Unfortunately, this afternoon, I was apprehended. I haven't had any water. The only thing that there is to eat here are rotten Georgia peaches. There's one guy 2 cells down from me. He's the only one who can eat them. And I think it's because he has 2 rows of wisdom teeth on one side of his face. Frankly, the entire thing is disgusting to me. So my next stop is probably Gitmo. And it's clear to me now that it's all cuffs or coffins when you mess with that Dilley crew. So my only hope right now is to reach one of the other special agents who may be able to intercept my transport to Gitmo. This may sound cryptic to the rest of you. Patriots, rise, pray, pray, pray. G-A-T like Tom, L-A-R-I-D-I, teen, too hot for you. Do you copy? I think they're coming. I have to go. Please, pray for me. Pray for me.
And I know people are flooding. I mean, look, you got a lot of detractors on Twitter, and they're going to say their stuff. That's okay, you guys. We're staying the high ground. We have the best idea. We have the most, I think, God and country-driven campaign. All of our volunteers are fantastic human beings. We, right now, have a total, we're doing this the right way. That's the whole point. So don't worry about, I know you guys try to concern you. You reach out to me and you say, hey, Brendan, there's people saying things. That's okay. They're all going to say stuff, you guys. Just stay right in your strong, in your strong place. Plus, yes, that's a great point, Rihanna. I am the front runner. At this point, we don't need to, we don't have to stoop down and hit anybody. We just got to stay on message and enjoy this.
Stoop down, man. If you stoop down, your head would be underground. That's how low this line of bullshit you're slinging is. The front runner, eh? There's not one poll, not one, that even has enough interest in you to warrant listing you by name. Yes, Sandy. Apparently, all you have to do to run for Congress is to have a single t-shirt generated by the t-shirt guys and put it up on the wall behind your toilet in your bathroom. Put a camera phone in front of you. Do a Periscope 3-4 times a day in lieu of actually going door to door and doing meet and greets with your future constituency. T-shirts and Twitter. Is this what we've been reduced to? These are the questions I ask here on this special presentation. What in the hell is going on? It's hard to know, but I'd like to know, wouldn't you? What happened? What is happening? I'll tell you this. From what we understand, the Brian Hasseen Network has reached out to members of the deep state, which clearly we all are members of. So we reached out, and because we're all deep state people, they immediately took my call. They didn't even put me on hold for like a second. And then after taking my call immediately, with no hesitation, did I mention that? They informed me that Ginger indeed is en route to Cuba. Gitmo, to be precise. And as a result, tomorrow, after I conclude the MAGA News Network regular edition, which should end around 9:30, I'm going to go immediately to the Scranton airport, where I'll be flying nonstop to an undisclosed island where I'll be ferreted in to Gitmo by catamaran. Really, it's the only way to sail, my friends. Leah can probably back me up. I don't know if she sells cats over there, but that would be the way I would like to do it. Just saying. And then I will be, hopefully, I'm bringing a lot of money, right? Because I'm actually a Democrat, as I was informed today. So as a Democrat, I have a Democrat playbook. And when I looked in the playbook for what to do in these kind of situations, it said that I needed to get pallets of cash and bring them to the place that I need to bribe people and just lay all that cash on them. So my plan is to go there tomorrow and bribe Ginger out of Gitmo, dropping all of the names of famous people that I know. You know, people like Norm MacDonald, would be dropping his name, like Theriath. I'm going to be dropping names like John Scholecroft. That's the way to go, man. Charlton Heston, even though I didn't know him, I figure he's dead. They're never going to check, right? What other names am I going to be dropping on them? Let's see. I would do Adam Gingrich, but based on the scopes I've seen today, he's used up, man. MAGA Coalition's used up. Gingrich is used up. I'm a googly-eyed monster. I'm used up. But I still think I got a few tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to get Ginger out of Gitmo. And I just hope that when they release her, she's wearing that hot little orange number that we saw in the previous video. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be dropping some names. Let's see. Like, I'm thinking like, I don't know. Should I drop like Ace Frehley or should I drop the name of Paul Stanley? They're both drugged out kind of washouts. They both got fired from KISS. But which one do you think might have more pull at Gitmo? If I was like, yeah, man, I just got off the catamaran. I was talking on the sat phone with like Ace Frehley. All right, does that like impressive? Or would it be like this? Like, yeah, soldier, I just got off my catamaran there and I was on the sat phone, strangely enough, with Paul Stanley. Or Peter Criss, maybe. How about Peter Criss, the drummer who died from cocaine overdose in KISS? I mean, is he still popular? I have no idea. Should I try to bribe them, not just with the pallets of cash, which is on page 272-C in the Democrat playbook, of which I am an owner of that playbook, because as of today, I've been outed as a Democrat. We've got to get her out. So I need like a plan. I got the catamaran. That's part of the plan. I got the pallets of cash. That's pretty good. And now I'm just, Richard Simmons. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get Richard Simmons. Although I understand he's become like Howard Hughes. He's being kept in a room somewhere. It's not a drill, Crazy Mook. It is not. We need to get this going. And it looks like since no one else wants to go and save her, I'm going to put together a little group and we're going to take this airplane around 11 o'clock tomorrow, and then we're going to go to some undisclosed island where a catamaran will be waiting for us, and we will then slip into Cuba, hopefully unnoticed. And yeah, we need Chuck Norris, but I'm not sure if Chuck Norris is available. You know, who's available? I mean, I called like everyone to see if they'd help us. I asked Gorka. Even when I butt dialed him at 3 in the morning, he didn't pick up. I think he's mad at me for pointing out the obvious, right? But that's how it is sometimes. I called Winkler, Henry Winkler, the Fonz, and it turns out, as a fellow Democrat, he has no interest in helping me. I was very saddened by that. I would have called Mr. Cunningham, but looks like he's dead. So that's not going to happen, you know. Shatner. Yeah, Shatner is a foreigner. He's still a Canadian citizen, and though very polite, he would say he can't intervene in this kind of political stuff because he could lose his visa. And he has a lot of assets here, a lot of horses and milkshake factories. Jason Bourne, if only, right? That would be pretty good. Dr. McCoy, also dead for a while now. Macron, foreigner, can't help us. Carter Page, he would be useful, but we've seen him on TV. He seems kind of like a goofy guy. Not the kind of guy you want to go on an operation with, that's for sure. Axl Rose is flabby, and his circulatory system has been severely compromised by decades of cocaine abuse. I'd be pulling the weight for this guy. I don't need I don't need another weight around my neck. I need contributors. Bruce Lee dead. Sorry, good idea though. Bannon, again, the bad health issues. I don't think. Johnny Depp, he's practically a foreigner. Cher, interesting idea, but from years of prescription drug use, there's nothing there. You can't do a debrief with a retard. Rosie. Yeah, well, actually, Rosie, we're going to take her just as a flotation device should something happen to the catamaran and we're in the seas, you know. Andy McCabe. Schwarzenegger, also in terrible health due to excessive use of steroids. He had a triple bypass and his body is completely shattered. Let's see. Who had any? Charo. Is she still alive? I don't know. Roseanne Barr. She'd be good. Oprah. No thanks. Trudeau. Another foreigner. Can't help us. Can't help us. Isn't that right, Amy? Amy? Isn't that right, Amy? Sladana. Forget it. Deepak Chopra. Another foreigner. Hulk Hogan. Isn't he dead? I don't know. Isn't his name Boleya or something like Bolay? Some weird name. Jerry Moonbeam. Yeah, that would be great. Another senile octogenarian. Well, we got the cash from Soros. I have all Democrats have a special phone that we can just press a secret button on the phone and it goes to the secret Democrat underground society where we can talk directly to one of Soros's lieutenants. And that's how we raised all of the paper money on the pallets. Terry Bolay, thank you. Maxine Waters, yeah, no. Soleil Moon Frye, excellent choice. Excellent. She's dumb as a turnip, but she was pretty hot back in the day. I seem to remember. If I'm thinking of the right actress. Pallets of cash, Maddie. Pallets of cash. Punky Brewster. Rob Reiner is not able to be with us. He's too busy consuming 7 buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken in his smoke-free lavatory. He's so obese that he eats such quantities of junk food that he needs to actually sit on the toilet to pass stool while he's eating. Just jamming that food in his mouth and passing stool at the same time. It's a very sad thing. He's going to die like Elvis died. That I can tell you. McCain, we don't have the facilities for hospice care on the catamaran. Yeah, Mark Cuban, no. Lady Gaga, if you aren't aware of this, she's deadly ill right now, Lady Gaga. Apparently all the shit that she's filled with has created sepsis in her blood, and her organs are shutting down one after the other. So again, she'd be more trouble than she's worth on this particular op. Steve McQueen's car from Bullet, I assume. Yes. If we could get it out of the Smithsonian, I definitely would use it. Well, obviously, because I'm a Democrat, Vladimir Putin is the originator of the operation, because everything we do as Democrats for the last 60 years has been dictated out of Moscow. If you remember, if you're old enough to remember, that's the glorious legacy of the Democratic Party, of which I've been informed as of today, I am a member. Ron Paul's son, Aqua Buddha. Aqua Buddha might be useful to us, and so I'll keep that right here. The Aqua Buddha might be good. The Beastie Boys, I think most of them are dead now, and the ones that are alive, their careers are as dead as their deceased partners. That's not going to happen. You remember their first hit, and I use that word under advisement, Cookie Puss? Do you remember off their first EP, Cookie Puss? Huh? Kate Schellenbach was their drummer. Oh shit, where does he get all of this stuff? Kate Schellenbach, the Beastie Boys' first drummer. Let's see. The Situation, that would be fascinating. Al Sharpton, again, doesn't look like he's in the best health. Don't think he could help us. Smooch Panda. See, I don't want to give away the personnel that we've selected for this operation. But to give you an idea, why would we be willing to risk our lives to try to get into the Cuban shoreline, which clearly we could die? You want to know why? I will show you why. This is why we fight.
I'm terrified right now. As you guys know, last night I was outed as a deep state agent by the Brendan Dilley campaign. He is currently sitting at 41% in the polls, so I am certain that he will win. As a result, I had to flee the country. MAGA Gold Hat thought that the best way to get me out of the country was to put me in a truck with a false bottom. We made it out to Mexico through Mesa, Arizona. Once we were in Mexico, Leah arranged for a yacht to take me from there to Greece. From Greece, I was then transported to Prague. Unfortunately, this afternoon, I was apprehended. I haven't had any water. The only thing that there is to eat here are rotten Georgia peaches. There's one guy 2 cells down from me. He's the only one who can eat them. And I think it's because he has 2 rows of wisdom teeth on one side of his face. Frankly, the entire thing is disgusting to me. So my next stop is probably Gitmo, and it's clear to me now that it's all cuffs or coffins when you mess with that Dilley crew. So my only hope right now is to reach one of the other special agents who may be able to intercept my transport to Gitmo. This may sound cryptic to the rest of you. Patriots, rise, pray, pray, pray. G-A-T like Tom, L-A-R-I-D-I, teen, too hot for you. Do you copy? I think they're coming. I have to go. Please, pray for me. Pray for me.
And I know people are flooding. I mean, look, you got a lot of detractors on Twitter, and they're going to say their stuff. But that's okay, you guys. We're staying the high ground. We have the best idea. We have the most, I think, God and country-driven campaign. All of our volunteers are fantastic human beings. We, right now, have a total... I mean, we're doing this the right way. That's the whole point. So don't worry about... I know you guys try to concern you. You reach out to me and you say, hey, Brendan, there's people saying things. That's okay. They're all going to say stuff, you guys. Just stay right in your strong... in your strong place. Plus, yes, that's a great point, Rihanna. I am the front runner. At this point, we don't need to, we don't have to stoop down and hit anybody. We just got to stay on message and enjoy this.
Yes, we got to enjoy it. We got to enjoy it. You think I'm enjoying it? I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Not only are we going to spring ginger, not only are we going to do that, not only do I intend on tranquilizing my wife before I leave, so I can personally make sure that Ginger has no bugs planted anywhere on her body. And I do this as a trained professional. And hopefully that tranquilizer is going to last at least 48 hours, maybe 72 on the outside, just so we can be sure that there have been no bugs or other type of tracking devices put anywhere, and I mean anywhere, on Ginger McQueen. Once thoroughly checked, vetted, if you will, Ginger will then be removed to a safe location, and hopefully on Tuesday, before we get back on the catamaran, Ginger and I will do a scope in front of the gates of Gitbo, giving you blow-by-blow news and commentary regarding the Arizona 8th special election. It's very special. Very special. And we will see if the months of hot air emanating from the Ann Vandersteel sector regarding Dilley and her little paid minions, the semi-literates known as 0 Hour and Meggie and the retard sister, we will see if all of the BS is in fact so many farts in the wind. What do you say? What do you say? I'm thinking that we need to consider carefully the next move. Right, Dilley?
Hey man, what's happening?
I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I go into the kitchen and look up on the shelf. Some peanut butter and a jar of jelly. Make a sandwich and put it in my belly. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. Hey man, I'm starving. Somebody give me something to eat. Give me some popcorn, small peanuts, I don't care. A Roscoe piece of molten bread. I'm starving. Somebody give me something to eat. Some burritos or tostadas, it don't matter. How much I eat, don't care if I get fatter. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself.
Looks like 0 Hour has joined us. How's it going, Big Face?
I got the marijuana munches, and I can't help myself. I go into the kitchen, I can eat everything on the shelf. I got the marijuana munches.
1 hour of fun. I have delivered extemporaneously with no net. Everything you have seen has been live edited. Everything, including the funny effects on the color on Dilley's swollen face. All done live the way they used to do it in the 70s in the newsrooms. The best part of Ann and Dilley together is their PJs tonight, says Brian Hassine. I've seen enough pornographic material in my life to know that the 65-year-old woman always is the one who pretends that it's too hot in the room because there's only one bed, but it's okay. And then she pretends it's really hot and starts removing her clothes. We've all seen these things. Maybe not all of us. But living in New York City, I've seen it all. And that's what I'm thinking. There's not going to be a lot of PJs going over there. That's right. That is right. And we want to welcome 0 Hour and his derelict mother girlfriend onto the scope. I think it's very important that we say hi to them. I think it's good. And we want to say hi to Lala, who I understand those DMs will be released this week. This is going to be a big week. So we want to say to all of our friends on our sister satellite stations, get ready. It's going to be a week of fun. So I've been told. So it's going to, yes, he has to brush his tooth. The Dilley victory party will be taking place in my ass Tuesday at 11 o'clock. And we're going to see how many of his stupid followers we can shove into the party, if you know what I mean. Of course, I'll be eating exclusively a diet of beans and jalapenos all day on Tuesday on my catamaran. So it should be very, very nice. Very nice. Yes. Hot Cheetos. Everyone will get some hot Cheetos. I promise you. And once we spring, I don't have any prolapse problems. That's those other people. The ones who like to, take it up the butt. Yeah, don't, exits must be respected as exits. And entrances should be respected as entrances. Follow this advice and you can have a sublime life, free of any major intestinal diseases. Free advice. There you go. So, that is our presentation for the day. We've entertained you. We've discussed the situation with Ginger. And I've told you of my plan, which I will be executing as soon as MNN is over tomorrow. I will be putting together a team. We will be flying directly to an undisclosed location where we will get onto a catamaran and sail under the cover of darkness into Cuba. We will infiltrate the Gitmo base, and personally, 2 of our team disguised as prisoners they will make their way. Just like in Star Wars, the first Star Wars, they have to find out which cell the princess is in. And then we're going to go and get the princess out. And hopefully not have to be in that weird garbage compactor room with the big snake. No, I didn't like that. That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So we hope we don't do the snake thing. But we are, Mueller and Obama, Mueller and Obama right now are spooning naked with nothing but an intangible layer of Vaseline separating them. That's true. So we're hoping to get in there. I mean, I saw Harold and Kumar Escape from Gitmo. That's the second film. I've seen it enough to know what Ginger must be facing there in Gitmo. And we got to get her out. There's no doubt. We've got to get her out. So I'll be contacting people tonight and tomorrow morning, put together the team, and we'll get down to Cuba. We'll make our way into the Gitmo facility, and then, disguised as Harold and Kumar, we will find where they're keeping Ginger. Spring her. And then I will, as I promised, I will inspect every inch of Ginger McQueen to make sure there are no subcutaneous tracking devices or, I don't know. I have to do some research to find out the data necessary to make sure the search is as thorough as possible. And then when we're satisfied, when the team is satisfied that she's not been compromised in any way, we will go into a hiding place, reemerge long enough to do a scope on Tuesday night, giving you the results of the Arizona 8 special election. And then after the Arizona 8 special election, we will all escape by catamaran back to Florida, where we will then be ferreted out by plane to different locations. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's how we're going to make this happen. Right. Base Chica, we have to check the belly button, especially, if you know what I mean. But those things can be hiding anywhere, so, we have to be thorough. And I'm sure she'll understand. She will. Especially after we bring the special donut, which has 20 milligrams of Ativan in it. So she won't be disturbed by the search. Anyhow, that's the big plan. And, good. MAGA Gold Hat's going to have the Gulfstream juiced and ready for launch. And we need that because that's going to be flying us to the undisclosed island. And it's from the undisclosed island that we will catch the catamaran to Cuba. To Cuba. To Cuba. And that is that. And what do I have to say about that? Maybe something like this.
I know people are flooding. I mean, look, you got a lot of detractors on Twitter, and they're going to say their stuff. That's okay, you guys. We're staying the high ground. We have the best idea. We have the most, I think God and country-driven campaign. All of our volunteers are fantastic human beings. We, right now, have a total, we're doing this the right way. That's the whole point. So don't worry about, I know you guys try to concern you. You reach out to me and you say, hey, Brendan, there's people saying things. That's okay. They're all going to say stuff, you guys. Just stay right in your strong, in your strong place. Plus, yes, that's a great point, man. I am the front runner. At this point, we don't need to, we don't have to stoop down and hit anybody. We just got to stay on message and enjoy this.
I'm pumped up.
strutting casually down the street when a man comes up to you looking beat with telltale traces of hippie on his chin. You say howdy and he says hi, got anything that'll make me fly? And if you do, I surely wish you'd let me in on what you're dealing, brother. In your mind you start to ponder what to turn this fella on to, and then you get a look into his eyes. You find his beard is only makeup and his line is purely fake up. Then and only then you realize that he's your friend, the neighborhood narco agent, friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local FBI. Your friend, the neighborhood narco daddy, all-American thinking fetty, there to trip you up while you are high. You're sitting in the coffee house gloom when the waiter comes up to you with a broom, and he has to sweep the floor around your chair. When you ask him why, he says, routine, we like to keep our coffee clean, and he proceeds to tidy up with care. You light yourself a cigarette, find out soon as you got it lit that 40 newfound friends are by your side. And someone hands you a note that's pencil telling you your flight's been canceled. Just the same, you're going for a ride with your friend, the neighborhood narco agent, friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local FBI. Your friend, the neighborhood narco daddy, all-American thinking fetty, there to trip you up while you are high. Now you duck into an alleyway thinking, hey, maybe I can cop a J and get back before the boss finds out I'm gone. Remembering the golden rule, you look both ways, make sure it's cool, and when there ain't a soul for miles around, you clutch your baggie full of weed and, careful not to spill a seed, you roll a joint as big as Baltimore. And as you take that first big drag in, a helicopter drops a paddy wagon, and guess who's standing smiling by the door? It's your friend, the neighborhood narco agent, friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local CIA. Your friendly neighborhood college dropout, undercover cop or cop-out, keeping law and order bright and gay. Yes, you find out that the freak you trusted is a fink that got you busted, and 20 years is a long time to stay on the ground.
Yes. Thank you for your attention in this matter. We will have updates to give you as they become available. Until then, remain calm. All is well. Repeat, all is well. Code 3C2N1-487 stroke 3. More info as it becomes available. We thank you for your time in this important matter. Goodbye.
Wow!
responsibility only to oneself. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of pleasure. The new Declaration of Independence for the teenager around the world. Then when it starts to fade, the old world returns to what it was. Come over to a similar apartment in the village. Smoke a joint, burn a little grass. Pot party, roach party, mainliner, skin popping, shoot some crystal. The language of the narcotic and marijuana user. The language of a large and ever-increasing number of teenagers. Starting in high school on Benzedrine and Dexedrine pep pills, it is not long before many soon graduate to marijuana, the teething biscuits to a whole generation of adolescent psyches. And if marijuana is the appetizer, the advent of the space-age technology has provided the main course. Lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD, the crazy acid. To use it is to take a trip in the world of mystique, religion, and self-knowledge. For others, it is a trip to the emergency ward of the nearest psychiatric hospital. For some, it accentuates the beat. For some, it quickens sexual desire. For some, it is the release of sexual inhibitions. But whatever it is, teenagers are going for it. A drug that can be made in the kitchen sink is hard to stop. And may be the forerunner of a new drug society out of some science fiction writer's imagination.
Will drugs pave the road to destruction for the now generation?
1 day, 20 hours, 26 minutes, 38 seconds. Ding!
And I know people are flooding. I mean, look, you got a lot of detractors on Twitter, and they're going to say their stuff. That's okay, you guys. We're staying the high ground. We have the best idea. We have the most, I think God and country-driven campaign. All of our volunteers are fantastic human beings. We right now have a total. We're doing this the right way. That's the whole point. So don't worry about. I know you guys try to concern you. You reach out to me and you say, "Hey, Brendan, there's people saying things." That's okay. They're all going to say stuff, you guys. Just stay right in your strong, in your strong place. Plus, yes, that's a great point, Rihanna. I am the front runner. At this point, we don't need to, we don't have to stoop down and hit anybody. We just got to stay on message and enjoy this.